I'm not a child, Moesby. I know how to spell Prindle.
It is not something you spell. It is a gear shift. The letters stand for park, reverse, neutral, drive, and low.
You're making me nervous with all this technical talk.
Oh, I'm sorry. Why don't we just relax and turn on the radio? Would you like M or F?
Yes, we have the sweet life, except for Moesby. Yo, what's up, you chuckle fucks? It's your boy Dippin' Dot Man of ReviewYaLife, here to review the only competitors to Sister, the sweet life of Zack and Cody.
Vote for me, and I'll be a supermodel in every art class. Male ones too.
But before we get started with this, we have to go through this, and then we'll jump to masterpieces like this. Let's go. Let's start things off with the tale of Dylan and Cole Sprouse. These two blonde twins started off acting since the age of 8 months old to help out their mother's finances, starring in diaper commercials. They would eventually score a recurring role in the TV sitcom Grace Under Fire. After 4 years and 5 seasons of that, and a couple of Mad TV appearances, they scored a second major role in the film Big Daddy, alongside Adam Sandler in 1999, both at the age of 7. Both the brothers were in the movie as the same role due to child labor laws restricting how long a child could be filmed in a day, which they did with most duplicate roles. Throughout the years, they took up other minor and major roles in TV and film. But after this role in particular, they were giving twins a run for their money. At this time it was,
watch out for those
Sprouse
brothers. Did you see what those
Sprouse
brothers were up to the other day? The
Sprouse
brothers.
Mary-Kate and Ashley couldn't stand a chance, but they were 16 years old around that time. Get that shit out of here. The Sprouse twins couldn't be stopped, and by 2005, they'll let that be known. Now, around 2004, I'm assuming, two you would think to be out of touch old guys who had previous work in Family Matters and Smart Guy was up at Disney one day and said, we could make a hit TV show. Boom, Zack and Cody was in production. I really want to give you guys more info on these two, but they seem to be shy dogs on the internet. There's no interviews, no blogs. Hell, I could barely find pictures of these guys. This just shows you how hard it is to make these kinds of videos based on little background information, but fuck it, I did Robot Boy, I can do this too. The last bit of information I picked up about the creation though is that it's mainly based off of Dylan and Cole's hotel life while they filmed on Big Daddy. Go figure. The show made its premiere in March 18, 2005, and it took the whole world by storm. First episode with over 4 million viewers tuning in, making Disney Channel's most successful premiere of 2005. In front of Jake Long and Buzzo Maggie. Hence on why those shows didn't last too long compared to the big boy over here. So with that out the way, let's get started with the review based off of production, main plot, and nostalgia. So without any further ado, let's get right into the production. Now, if you've seen any Disney sitcom before, that should give you a hint on what the production is like for this show. But just in case you haven't, let me break it down for you. This show is actually the debut of the company It's a Laugh Productions, which is going to produce a lot of live action sitcoms that you know in the future. Everything basically goes off the general sitcom knowledge, but for this being Disney Channel's second go at a sitcom since That's So Raven in 2003, this set it a new bar for shows in the future. There's multiple camera shots during conversation, canned laughter, random Benny Hill moments, and even visual effects, which is very different during that time. And dummies, lots and lots of stunt dummies. And you know what? It worked. Usually in my reviews, I take the time to talk about animation, but seeing as though that's an unlikely task now, let's move on to casting and setup. The main setting is the Tipton Hotel, which is a parody of the Hilton Hotel, which is owned by Mr. Wilfred Tipton, who is portrayed by the disembodied voice of Man Ray of all people. But with him being owner of the franchise, someone has to look after the place. And who else would be a better fit for that responsibility than his own daughter, London Tipton? And surprise, surprise, she's a fucking idiot. But boy, is she fine. The rest of the cast is okay too, I guess. Ashley Tisdale appears in the first reoccurring role besides a couple of TV shows. Kim Rhodes, the mom, was in soap operas and Christmas with the Cranks, if that rings a bell to you. Brian Stepanek, aka Arwen, was randomly in Friday at the Next, and Phil Lewis is best known for his reprised roles in numerous movies and TV series, but this would make for his first on-screen main role. Now let's talk about the celebrity appearances. Tony Hawk and Chris Brown during the Off the Wall days. What a time. Whoa there, D-Dub, man. I'm sure there were a lot more celebrities than that. You're right, actually, but all of those celebrities are Disney stars, so they weren't notable enough to intrigue interest. But for the show to be the first of its kind, not counting That's So Raven, I'm really glad that it didn't bomb or get swept under the rug for something else. Remember that this show came out during the peak of animation on Disney Channel, so based off the audience like that, you would think that it wouldn't stand a chance. I really enjoyed the abrupt humor of this show, and I really feel the laugh tracks actually fit in with their jokes they tell. I even chuckle a bit sometimes at the screenwriting myself, to this day. Overall, they came up with some neat production decisions just in case the show would bomb to preserve money. The filming of the hotel's exterior is actually shot of the real hotel Vancouver, located in British Columbia, Canada. And most of the scenes take place inside the studio they filmed it to represent the inside of the hotel. In later seasons, they branch out to do different sets, but the main cast point was at the hotel. And there are so many variety of locations inside, so the choices were endless. Basically, this show is more appealing to my taste than any other normal sitcom during the 90s that were on the more realistic side. This show was meant to be wacky, and boy did it succeed. I'm giving production of Zack and Cody an 8 out of 10.
So, all the stuff you were saying about art and music and literature, those weren't your opinions?
Nope. Oh, except for what I said about the banana nut muffins. I really do like them. They're soft from the banana, yet crunchy from the nuts.
Step, step, kick, and shimmy, 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 shimmy. 1, 2, boogie, and Shorty George. Shorty George. Fishtail, and crazy legs. Crazy legs. Just square, and big finish.
Talking about the main plot to Zack and Cody will be a lot easier than talking about the production, because all you have to do is at least see one episode and you'll get the gist of the rest. The show is about these two main characters, Zack and Cody Martin. Zack's the cool one and Cody's the smart one, with their mom Carey all living in a hotel together. It's their new home from now on, after several city moves following the parents' divorce, and it's the best gig Carey has found as a lounge singer for a decent enough pay. So you would think everything would be ding-dong diddly great, right? Nope. Zack and Cody are growing boys, and living in a 5-star hotel is boring. Day in, day out, they do things to spice things up a bit, but Mr. Moesby isn't having any of it. So he keeps his eye out for the little hooligans 24/7, which gives you the basic setup for each episode, and boy did I ever eat it up as a kid. Every week I waited for a new episode like, oh boy, I can't wait to see the shenanigans that the boys get into this week. And no, they didn't go through the typical sitcom problems like pedophiles, drugs, and child abuse. We got the cool wacky shit like impersonating the Prince of Ishkabar and dressing up as a girl to win a beauty pageant. Hell yeah! It was like watching a real life cartoon. I loved it. And the best part about that is there was forced character development because everyone visually gets older throughout the series. Like in season 1, the boys were in middle school, and by season 3, they were in high school, and they had a job. Brilliant. But don't think that this show is all about them two. Well, it is, but there's other side plots to make the show more relatable to everyone. Plus, more London screen time is a plus in my book. There's stuff with Maddie, with her character being a down-to-earth but awkward white girl. She's usually the voice of reason of the series, but even she has mishaps for herself. which is saying a lot since she goes to a strict Catholic school. There's also scenes with the stationary engineer Arwen. He's the weird, nutty nerd guy trope of the series, and he wants to fuck the twins' mom in the ass. If it wasn't for Moesby already taking the spot, he'd probably be the funniest one of the series to me. I would take the time to mention Esteban, but all you have to do is watch at least one scene with him, and you'll get his gimmick. There's a bunch of one-off characters as well, who aren't worth mentioning, but boy, will you only see them for a short amount of time. Plot points of the show is mainly based off of the events happening at the hotel, or something important happening outside the hotel, hence the High School Musical episode. Ending with main plot, the show is about everyone here, excluding the title of the show of course. Towards season 3, London Tipton received more screen time due to her web show, Yay Me, starring London Tipton, which occurred during future episodes, and also in real life. She became more annoying than usual during that time, but I didn't get fucked. That Asian face just did things to my little boy body. Main plot gets an 8 out of 10. Now let's get into nostalgia. You guys may be wondering, hey D-Dub man, why this Disney Channel sitcom out of all the shows? And to keep it simple, this was the first one I've watched. Back in 2005, I was 8, and I had this weird restriction for myself at the time. I was under the impression that if I watched Disney Channel for more than just its cartoons, I was a bitch. I always categorized the network as a girls channel. At the time, they had stuff like Lizzie McGuire, Phil of the Future, That's So Raven playing. But what's wrong with Phil of the Future? Nothing at all actually. But it's only lasted for 2 seconds. Zack and Cody probably showed me that it was okay to give Disney Channel a chance with shows like this. This thought process led me to give shows like Hannah Montana, Wizards of Waverly Place, and finally That's So Raven a chance. Zack and Cody ended with 87 episodes and 3 seasons on September 1st, 2008, and it left some very fond memories along with that, like Moesby fighting his midget brother, the prince summoning women,
You may approach me!
the Tipton commercial, and who could forget Floss. Y'all know y'all niggas remember Floss. And let me take the time to mention the expanded universe that is known as the Disney Channel. Did you know that every Disney Channel sitcom is connected? Yeah! Let me introduce you to the introduction of the saga, That's So Sweet Life of Hannah Montana. This crossover was such a buzz when I was in school, and who knew that the channel would make this a recurring thing for the future of the brand? This episode in question can be summed up with this clip that I found.
Raven meets Zack and Cody, who meet Hannah, who knows London, who gets tricked by Maddie into wearing Raven's dress. After Raven gets Zack and Cody to fool her boss, before she has a vision about their party, which she crashes, that includes a cake that Hannah likes.
Vanilla, my favorite.
I'll leave it up to you to figure out if it's worth your watch or not. But the opening episode alone made me laugh, so it's good enough for me. Now note, this isn't the end of the series. They continue to show up on a different name called The Sweet Life on Deck, and it has everyone from the first show. Well, besides Maddie and Carey. But hey, London is still there, and that's all that matters to me. I'll talk more about this series in a separate review, depending on if this one is successful or not. I'm also saving the Where Are They Nows for that review as well, because it isn't necessarily their endpoints in their career. It's actually made them stronger in a way. So leading with that, nostalgia gets a 9 out of 10, thus concluding my review of The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. I hope you guys enjoyed the video today. It was quite the experience doing a sitcom this time, so tell me if I should continue these in the future. But this marks the end of season 2 of ReviewYaLife. Look forward to the next stream of videos. There's gonna be a major format change, and I start taking things more seriously channel wise. So I might tone it down a bit with the porn. Also, I'm now doing a podcast. I know, typical, right? But it's really just me and a friend jerking our dicks next to the mic. Here's an excerpt. Dealing a cold Sprouse. Whoa, shut up, buddy. Get out of here.
Dealing her cold Sprouse.
Alright, I gotta go destroy my dog real quick.
Alright, fair enough. Yeah, while D-Dub Man destroys his dog, I'm gonna tell you about our sponsor, goodshoes.com.
So subscribe for Minecraft horse taming tutorials. Don't look at my likes on Twitter, and see you next time. This has been D-Dub Man ReviewYaLife, and this video is sponsored by Channel Frederator. See ya!